Coming up next on Functional Moms Podcast.
For all of the parents, moms, dads out there, for us, it took 10 years. Every single day, every single month, we changed something step by step. One day, we got rid of McDonald's. At the same time, we were eating Popeyes, we were getting the Long John Silvers, all that kind of stuff. Then after a few months, we got rid of that. After a few months, then we started to cut back on Starbucks. After a few months, we started to learn more and be like, oh, wait a second. This ingredient that we usually have is actually causing cancer. So no more red 40, no more dyes. Then go into fruit choice corn syrup. Like, okay, we're not having any of that anymore.
No GMOs. We just went step by step. We didn't do this overnight. It took 10 years.
Welcome to Functional Moms Podcast. Lifestyle medicine for women over 40. Let's age on our own terms. This episode is for you if you have teens in your life with common health struggles like acne, anxiety, depression, asthma, allergies, sinus problems, period problems, sleep and digestive issues, trauma, and more.
This may come as a shock, but in 2005, the New England Journal of Medicine predicted that for the first time in history, our kids are expected to have shorter lifespans than us, their parents. Now, in 2025, nearly 1 in 2 kids has a chronic condition, and mental health struggles are on the rise.
Abdullah, Zain, Emaad, and Qasim Ansari, ages 17, 14, 12, and 10, are the hosts of the Holistic Kids Show podcast, national speakers and co-authors of the new book, The Teen Health Revolution, Lifestyle Secrets to Optimize Your Mind, Body, and Soul.
Welcome to Functional Moms Podcast, guys. We got to meet you and at the Institute of Functional Medicine annual conference in Las Vegas last year, and we're so excited to have you on the show. We would like to start by asking you, why did you write the Teen Health Revolution book?
I think that a big part was COVID. It's one of the things that COVID really did help with. But when COVID, it really made people start thinking about their health. And especially when it comes to their health, we started thinking about our health a lot more. Because before we were doing all of this, but really when COVID hit, we were getting a little older and we wanted to learn more from all these different types of experts. So that's when we started our podcast, The Holistic Kid Show. Just a casual conversation between kids and adults, just so we can learn about different aspects of health, with each episode focusing on a different aspect. Then, so we could learn about them while our audience could also learn about them.
Right.
But back then we were just like, well, I was 12, Zain was like 8, 9. And so we just wanted something to, our mom was like, do something during COVID because you guys have too much time on your hands. Do something beneficial with it. And so we were like, okay, why not? And so we started to do it. And we started to find that we found more beneficial information in it, and we just loved to continue it after that. And so back then, everyone was worried about their health, and this gave us, and we were able to then take control of our health, learn about our health, and ask the questions that we wanted to ask.
So eventually that podcast turned into a book because we were like, when we want something that every teen could hold in their hands, like among all the podcasts, like over 200 podcasts we did, ends a book. So that's why we started the book.
Yeah, we compiled all the incredible information from all these guests and we put it into an easy guide for teens by teens, because let's face it, teens don't want to listen to adults. So that's why when teens create the book, maybe they'll listen to it in a very simple way that they could just hold around. If they have an issue, they could just find the page and start focusing on a different aspect of their health.
Excellent.
I love that. I have teens and they definitely don't want to listen to what I have to say about health. So I'm really glad you guys wrote this book because I'm going to have them take a look at it. I think it could be really helpful. And I love how you're tackling so many different common issues. I know at the beginning of the show, I highlighted some of the things that you guys touch on in the book. And it's really amazing how much you can do just with your diet alone. So we would love to ask you, how is ultra-processed food destroying kids' health?
So ultra-processed food is, number one, it's unnatural for our bodies to consume. Ultra-processed foods are, first of all, they're created in a lab. They're basically like, we call them science experiments. They're not even real food, like they're fake food. And they are contributing to this chronic illness epidemic and even this mental health epidemic that we're facing today, especially in kids, in teens, and even adults. I mean, these are food-like substances they cause blood sugar to spike, which then leads to glycation, which is the sugar sticking to things. And This then causes the problems that we see today. I mean, inflammation, chronic disease, eczema, allergies, basically everything that we know is causing problems to kids and teens and adults. Ultra processed foods has something to do with it.
Yeah, and it's very prevalent as 70% of kids' diets are ultra processed foods. And that leaves really no space for any real food that could help lift their bodies.
And plus, we live in a day and age where ultra processed foods, you'd think, oh, I have a choice whether to eat ultra processed foods or not. But actually, ultra processed foods have been specifically engineered to be addictive, to make you overeat, and that then continues to cause your body to lose functioning and, to completely destroy yourself. And so we realized this and we were like, man, that's really all in Doritos. So, we decided to take initiative and start researching and educating ourselves.
So that is my question, actually. For people that don't know, like you mentioned Doritos, what are some other ultra processed foods?
So, I mean, honestly, sadly, it's all of kids' favorites food. Oreos, Pringles, Takis.
Yeah.
I mean, even right now, like soda drinks and drinks that even people think are okay, they are bioengineering these drinks to then, seem okay, but they're cutting corners to cut costs to make more money.
Anything that has like a crazy amount of ingredients, and you look at the ingredients and you don't even pronounce anything that you don't understand, like Red 40, like someone would be like, oh, I don't know what Red 40 is, or like a random word.
Yeah, and especially all the restaurants that a lot of kids really like, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A.
Especially the things, like I know, like a lot of kids in high school, they got like during their lunch break, sometimes the older kids get to leave school to go and drive to get lunch. Their top places are Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and etc. Like, come on. And the thing is that like, kids think that this is not doing anything to them, but in reality, like it's completely destroying our mental, physical, emotional, and even like our social connections and parts of our life.
So, why is it important to eat colorful, real foods?
So we say eat the color, eat the rainbow, but we don't mean taste the rainbow. Eat Skittles, basically. Yeah, we're saying not to eat Skittles, no Jolly Ranchers. We're saying real food, not the candy that's multicolored, that's artificial. We're talking about the real rainbow.
Sorry, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
No.
Color from like fruits and vegetables, like each color helps. Each color of the rainbow like helps that in certain ways. Like red lowers inflammation, orange helps reproductive and eye health, yellow helps with digestive health, green helps with detoxification, and blue and black are like helps with the brain. So these are like all really helpful to things. So you don't have to have one food at a time. Like you can have different varieties. You have varieties.
Yeah, and especially because when most teens, they think of, oh, vegetables and fruits, you just want me to have carrots and apples all day. No, there's so much different types of fruits and vegetables that taste very different and that can suit different needs. So let's say if you like really sweet fruits, then you can go for like a mango. If you like really sour fruits, lemons are really good. So like all these different types, they're going to be so helpful. And people only look at like a variety of ultra processed foods, like different types of Sour Patches, even though there are different types of flavors of all these. I think there's how much different types of like grapes and apples, like 70,000 or something. There's just so much, and they all taste like slightly different or like very different.
There's actually studies that have been coming out that we saw this in this one documentary, that the reason why kids are starting to now veer away from fruits and vegetables and to ultra processed foods is because they don't like the variety and taste. Like it's like crazy to think now, especially when it comes to fruits and vegetables, like everyone likes it, right? But some kids now are developing taste buds where they don't want to eat blackberries because sometimes they might be, a little bit more sour than usual, or they might be a little bit more, too sweet or too like different of a flavor than the other one they ate before. And this is just craziness. This shows you the extent that ultra processed food companies have brainwashed kids and how they're now entering into families and societies and neighborhoods. They've really now dictated the food system so that we listen to them and we only eat what they want us to eat.
Right. It's like, it almost sounds like what you're saying is like it trained their taste buds to like this certain type of food, which actually leads us into, so how can teens start to eat healthy if they're currently consuming lots of processed foods and sugars that maybe they're already like programmed to? How are they going to deprogram themselves?
So for all of like the parents, moms, dads out there, for us, it took 10 years. Every single day, every single month, we changed something step by step. One day we got rid of McDonald's. But at the same time, we were eating Popeyes, we were getting the Long John Silvers, all that kind of stuff. Then after a few months, we got rid of that. After a few months, then we started to cut back on Starbucks. After a few months, then we started to learn more and be like, oh, wait a second. This ingredient that we usually have is actually causing cancer. So no more red 40, no more dyes. Then we go into, fructose corn syrup. Like, okay, we're not having any of that anymore.
No GMOs. Like, we just went step by step. It doesn't take, we didn't do this overnight. It took 10 years.
Right.
And especially with when we develop these habits, we don't just like if you go straight from eating super clean or super terrible one day to eating super clean the next day, you're not going to always want to be super clean. You're going to be like, oh, I still miss that. So you're going to just constantly coming back. But when you're slowly adding these habits and changing your taste buds slowly, then you're not going to want to go back.
And also, what our mom did is whenever we were hungry, we were kids, she used to always say, go down the list. Vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, and then carbohydrates. And now we know it's because we need to focus on eating, and all the parents out there can tell their, recognize the foods that are going to be nutrient dense, that they're going to help you and not hurt you, and that they all serve a purpose. And so Zain can tell you more about, going down the list. And even when we make lunches, we go down the list.
Yeah, like whenever I make the lunches or whenever we make the lunches, we have three main foods that we always like to include. We have vegetables, which is usually like a nice appetizer snack, like some carrots, cucumbers, bell peppers, whatever. Clean protein is usually our main meal, and we usually put it in like a thermostat, one of those containers that keeps it warm. This is so like we can get some more energy out of this clean throughout the school day, and making it clean, like maybe some meats like chicken or some beans and lentils or something. And then after that, then we have a nice treat, like maybe like some fruits or some dark chocolate, or we make these almond flour yummy desserts that just taste amazing. So
also what our mom used to do. So every single time we were like, oh, we're hungry, when we were kids, right? So we used to always we used to always bother her because, it was like, Mom, can you please feed us? Can you please give us food? And she used to always tell us, did you have your vegetables? And did you go down the list? And we're like, did you have your vegetables? He's like, no. It's like, okay, first vegetables, then clean protein, then healthy fats, and then you can have some carbohydrate. So that's what our mom used to do, and she really ingrained that into us, and I think she's been so amazing to help us out, really understand with that. Because that's how you change from fake food to real food.
And also, like, real food needs to be fun. Like, nobody has to have, like, real food and just be boring, just broccoli and everything. I'll make it fun.
So, like, instead of just eating plain broccoli sprouts or just, like, unseasoned chicken, like, no one actually wants to eat that. But, like, when you maybe just, like, add all these different sauces to it, like, season it, like, make it more fun, salt it, all these things, or just, like, mix a bunch of it together like salads or something, it's so much more flavorful and so much more tasty, so you want to eat it. Instead, you don't feel like you're just being forced to because you want to be healthy.
I like how you're making this manageable. You're saying, listen, it took you guys about 10 years to really get to where you are today, but you can start anywhere. You can start small. It's doable for anybody to get there. It's just, you don't want to rush it probably, because if you went home and just threw out everything and tried to restart, it would probably be overwhelming, I would think.
Yeah.
So I like how you're really giving us like a manageable way to do this. And in the book, do you have some recipes?
Oh, yes, lots of recipes.
At the back,
Great.
we have recipes that if you want like a healthy, organic type of that we use, it's really good. Yeah, at the back.
Yeah, and especially if you buy the book, you also get 4 bonuses. Basically, the ingredient lists, like you get a list of
like a shopping list.
Yeah. You get shopping lists, got like lunch, little guides, like you can figure out what you want to eat for lunch. Like basically all these so you can really we want people to leave with this actually doing something instead of just reading it and being like, okay, sure. And
like in the book, so in the book, we actually even compare, like, okay, you look at some, non-healthy chips, like Doritos, the classics, and then we compare them to chips that have 7 ingredients We go through each ingredient, we're like, okay, this is what this does, this is what this does, compared it to the ultra-processed chip, which are now have carcinogens in them, which cause cancer. And they also have tons of chemicals that if anybody told you you're eating Doritos and they put a can cause cancer label on it, like nobody would ever want to eat something like that. And so we go through that into the book and we give practical examples and tips anyone could just easily take away.
That's fantastic.
Love that. I have to share, like, when I saw you guys speak last year at the AIC, you had some product swaps up there, and my son loved Takis, and I got the Siete Fuego chips for him instead, and he loves them. So thanks for that, guys. It was really good.
And I also want to mention, I love how you guys are also giving tips to the moms. You know, you gave examples of how your mom helped you and what she did. And I think that, that's helpful to us moms to how we can support our teens on our end. That was helpful to you guys. So thanks for that model.
Well, we know so many people need help out there, so it's really our pleasure.
It really is.
What are the harms of too much social media and screen time that teens should know about?
I don't know why people they made these social media platforms and they're giving it to kids as low as 6 years old or even lower. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you want to do these? Why? And the people who made social media, they don't even give social media to their kids because
and also because right now we're living in an age where everyone's on social media. So I've heard teens are like, oh, I wish I could get off of it. But the thing is that everybody is on it. And right in that mentality and what social media has done and how they've engineered it to be, it has basically manipulated kids to be stuck on it and is now making them kind of I know kids in high school that are, the smartest kids, but they can't go 5 minutes without their phone. They can't go 5 minutes without even checking, their post or how many likes this thing got or, what this person is doing, what that person is doing. Right now, actually, said 96% of Gen Zers say that they can't even go to the bathroom without taking their phone. And so this is imagine if this was any other time. That'd be something really sad. And the reality of it is that this social media and scrolling and doom scrolling until 2 a.m. in the morning is all caused because of the dopamine hits that teens are getting and that are continuously being exposed to. I mean, we can't even go, you open up social media. We don't have the attention span anymore to watch a 10-minute video. How bad our teens' attention spans are?
I believe it. I mean, I think it's wrecking my attention span, and I'm a grown adult, so.
And so the problem is that it goes even deeper than that. It's affecting our mental health, our spiritual health, even our physical health. Yes, it can be a source of connection, but it can also be a source that causes stress like nothing ever has caused before. I mean, it's been linked to, even heightening the risks of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, and actually can lead to more depression and anxiety. And as a teenager in high school and or just got out of high school and now in college, I 100% could see that the kids that were always on their phones, during class, doing, lunch, not talking to anybody, that those people were the ones that usually were facing more anxiety, more depression, and sadly were having more suicidal thoughts.
Wow.
Yeah. They actually just banned phones in my kids' school, but just this year.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's a good step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more people are noticing that it's a real problem.
Yeah, and I was just having a conversation with my son. I went to go visit him. He's in his third year in college, and while I'm visiting with him, I just noticed how every second he had to look at his phone. And I just said to him, I said, I think it would be wise for you to start putting yourself on a timer and just start, I'm not going to be on my phone for 10 minutes. And just to start detoxing from it. And he actually said to me, that's a great idea. And when he said that, I realized that he is noticing how he is very addicted to his phone. So I guess that leads us into, first, let's talk about what is mindfulness and how can it help teens and possibly help us. I'm thinking do some phone detoxification.
So does anyone explain what mindfulness is first?
Mindfulness is being present in the moment. Because now teens, adults, everyone, we're just thinking about, what's going on in this world, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, what are we going to do? We're just never really thinking about anything. We're just scrolling and shoving whatever we want in our mouths. We lost it. We stopped thinking about what we're doing and we stopped really focusing on everything that we're doing and really being in the present.
And that's why right now, mindfulness, I think, is one of the key things that will help a teen be able to retake control of their body. When a teen knows that why they're scrolling, when a teen knows to stop, putting whatever they want into their mouth, to actually be able to read labels and to recognize what they're doing, before they start destroying themselves, and teaching a teen to be able to take some time out every single day. We do gratitude, but Zain, he can tell you about how he habit stacks in the morning, and he goes outside. Zain, you got that?
So basically, when I wake up in the morning, usually I like to get a drink of water and I like to sit outside and just think about what's going around me while thinking about what I'm grateful for. And so I'm drinking water, I'm hydrating, I'm going outside, getting into nature, I'm being mindful and being grateful. That tackles 4 really big important steps, and just clustering it into this small time, it's going to make it easier to get a lot healthier in a smaller time, especially because a lot of teens and adults, they don't have the time to do this. Just habit stacking is where you just put these different habits and connect them so you can get healthier without having to spend 3 hours meditating.
Right.
And we actually learned this from our mom, because she used to be when we were kids, she used to take us out and sit with us, which is an important detail. She didn't just tell us, but she joined with us. She sat there, she closed her eyes, and she told us. Back then we thought it was really silly, but she sat in the sun, she drank some water, and we just spent there 5 minutes in silence, taking in what's around us, she used to tell us, what do you feel in this moment? What do you smell? What do you taste? And after that, we started realizing how amazing our days felt every single day that we used to do it, and how groggy we used to feel if we didn't do it. So, it's 5 minutes a day in the morning. I'm pretty sure that's doable.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. I do that with my grandson now. We go for walks and I tell him, just, what do you hear, Emmett? What are you listening to? We're just there and we're just listening to the sounds of nature. And, we would hear a bird or even the leaves in the wind. And it's really does bring you into being present. And so, talking about nature important for teens. Why is that so important for us to get out into nature?
So, our bodies were always meant to be in nature. Studies have come out that spending time in nature can actually improve physical, mental, social, and even spiritual health. Getting out in nature has so many benefits. It can release stress, lower inflammation. Teens, we always complain, I have so much stress, but we spend our days inside, on our phones, not touching, we like to say, not touching grass, just isolated by ourselves, in dark rooms. Improves our sleep. Teens, we always complain about our sleep. Nature helps improve sleep. It lowers blood pressure, helps with heart rate variability, increases mindfulness, like Zain mentioned. And I can't stress this enough, but helps you cope with stress. Teens are so stressed, and we think that there's nothing we can do about it. Just go out in nature. Zain, do you have something to say?
Nature, it was always intended for us to always be in nature. So the fact that our bodies aren't getting as much nature time is really, really hurtful to our bodies, especially because we were made to be out in nature 24/7.
It's sad. When I was growing up, kids were always outside playing. We would be outside all day long, nonstop. And nowadays, I don't see so many kids outside. Everybody's inside.
And it's so sad. And actually, scientists have even come out and said that, spending time in nature helps regulate the nervous system, and even looking at pictures of nature has benefits. How amazing is that nature has so many answers to it, and yet we're just ignoring it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great tip.
Mom, do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
It's really good to even grounding is really these grounding can boost the immune system, and getting really close to nature. Yeah, they kind of said it.
Yeah, so I noticed that you were talking about habit stacking before. And so just to give a little more detail on that piece of it, because I think that can also really be helpful in putting together all the things that we talked about. How can tiny habits build positive changes and success?
in the New Year's, everyone is obsessing over goals. Okay, and by next year, I want to be so happy. I want to be so good at sports. I want to do all of this. But really, when they start getting through the year, they never actually want to do any of this stuff to get there. So we don't really look at goals too much. Instead, we look more at building habits. Because when we build habits, it can be much easier to get to the goal and it really just constantly make it better all the time, really. Because when we're building a habit, we're building a lifestyle. We're building a routine that'll help change our path in the future.
Because let's be honest here, we've all had those like yearbook, the January, the 1st of January, New Year's Eve or New Year's bucket list to finish for the year. And let's be completely honest here, how many times we actually finish those lists? Like almost never. And so habit stacking means that we implement something every single day. We create consistent routine that help us then implement that into our life and stay focused and stay consistent. Because it doesn't matter if you do, if you live healthy for a month, example, but then for the rest of the year, you're, on and off. It would be better for you to do semi, healthy, but throughout the year inconsistent. And I think that's the mindset that we have to have instead of trying to focus everything on that January. I know it's only, October, but it's coming up soon. And
it's coming.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's coming up and it's something that we should always be thinking about. And you can start it at any time.
Yeah. Being imperfectly consistent is what's important, is the consistency.
We love that here. Yes, at Functional Moms Podcast. That's what we're all about for moms. Just getting something in every day, a little something for yourself goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we talk a
definitely.
lot about like the 5-minute workout because sometimes, you could be like, oh, I'm going to work out for an hour, and then you work out for an hour and then you don't work out at all because you're like, oh, I don't have an hour. But if you just worked out for 5 minutes, Monday through Saturday or something, you're so much better off because you're doing some activity throughout the whole entire week. So being mindful of our time today, guys, we would like to ask each of you to tell us one thing a teen can do today to improve health. Just one little thing that pops up in your mind.
So the first thing or one thing any teen can do today that can significantly improve their life is just being grateful. Being grateful switches that negative subconscious that, let's be completely honest here, teens are the most negative people I know. I hate my life. I hate school. I hate homework. It's not really that bad. And so just being grateful every single day when you wake up. I know when I'm on the bus, I just say, I look around, I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my eyes, for my ears, switching that subconscious from negative to positive. And once you're able to change and channel that mindset, anything is possible.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so my tip would be to see, there's so much.
I'll say mine. So I think we should for teens, we should start swapping out the bad food, as alternatives. Like you were talking about your son. Or swapping out with Siete Fugo chips. Well, I think we should do that with all other things because there's so many good options for everything else. We're just not looking to we're not open to those options. We want to stick to the Doritos, to Takis, but switching to that, it's so easy and it tastes like maybe better.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think my tip would be to just breathe. It's really easy. We do it all the time when we're living, but when we're breathing,
mindfully breathing.
Yeah, mindfully breathing. No, but I'm talking,
Yeah.
So when you're mindfully breathing, when you're really just taking it, you're supposed to breathe, we're all supposed to breathe, but when we're mindfully breathing, we can just really think about ourselves. When we're breathing, we can really reconnect with ourselves and just take some time to de-stress ourselves and to calm down and just slow down because life is not supposed to be as fast-paced as it is in these days.
And then like Zain was saying, belly breathing and mindful breathing and taking just a deep breath.
Yeah.
It's just a reset for your body. I know, especially teens, right before a big test, we're the most chaotic people ever. We're trying to get all the notes in. Just taking a deep, big belly breath or just a normal, a deep breath just completely allows you to focus, think, even do better and gives you that reset that our bodies need all the time.
Yeah, I feel like taking that deep breath is almost like it's another form of grounding, like, and just being present with yourself. And it just kind of pulls everything and everything's okay in the world. And you know what's funny? That when you said that, when you said, I think my thing is like taking a deep breath, like being mindful breathing. I started doing it while you were talking. I was like,
That's so funny because I did too.
It's like,
You
oh,
right
yeah.
away made me conscious of my breathing because, mostly I'm not conscious of it. I'm not paying attention. So that's a great tip.
Mhm.
3 great tips. Thank you so much. So I want everyone to know they can connect with the Teen Health Revolution on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Their handle is at Holistic Kid Show, or visit theteenhealthrevolution.com. And you can buy the Teen Health Revolution on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. If you pre-order the book, you'll get some free gifts. Can you guys tell us a little bit about that?
So if you get the book, we have 4 like PDFs that you basically just to get people more active about their health, like
Shopping lists.
and lunch guides and
I think one is called like Groundfully Perfect, Grateful Purpose, meditation.
yeah, like all these different techniques and
Like
yeah,
how to manage stress as well.
yeah, so we have just like these 4 ones that just really just can get teens start thinking about their health and actually doing it. Because after the book, we want people to not just think about it, but we want people to actually do it.
Yeah, and build those habits that they can then implement into their life, into their adulthood, and until, for the rest of their life. Because like Zain, I think, mentioned earlier, like we are the future doctors, we're the future lawyers, we're the future, teachers and engineers. And if our bodies are not working properly, and if we can't take control of our life, then where is the next generation going to go? And that's why this teen health revolution is so important and it needs to start now.
Yes, we need this teen health revolution.
We agree. 100%.
Awesome. Love it. We agree. We're so glad you did this work. Thank you for all your podcast episodes that you've done. And it's amazing what you've accomplished in just 5 years now that you have a book and you had over 200 episodes published, correct?
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's really big accomplishment. So we appreciate you coming on the show today, and we'll be sure to link everything where you can purchase the book and everything in the show notes. And thanks again for coming on.
I think so. It was really our pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need your support. If you're enjoying the show, follow, like, and subscribe. Thank you for Aging Strong with Functional Moms Podcast. The information provided in this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended for the purpose of diagnosing, curing, treating, or preventing any disease. We are functional medicine certified health coaches and not licensed medical professionals. The opinions and advice of guests are their own and also not considered to be medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional when making any healthy lifestyle changes. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment or review. Email us at info@functionalmoms.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button.